Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I do hope you're all doing well. I'm just getting the tablet sorted out here, and that'll be good to go. Yeah, exactly, that's I do have like an actual overlay for one of these two. It decided to stop working some time ago, so I've not been able to muster up the energy to change it. I do hope you're all doing well then. So yesterday, we will be, of course, playing some more War in the East 2. I do believe for 1.5 hours, so that'll be some fun. Now, I've just updated to the latest version now. I swear to God, there's been so many versions. But what I'm looking at here, then, is... we will be playing the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign once again. I think because the issue was beforehand, we didn't have the AI given the ability to actually appropriately move its forces. So in theory, with them now having the ability to actually more or less teleport, essentially represents the fact that the Soviets are just not an AI. It should make for a superior challenge. I'm not too sure if I want to go for 100 across the board or just a 90 there. So, I think the challenge should be okay there. I think so. Yeah, I think that should be okay. Hopefully you guys agree then. So we'll have morale at 100. Morale being the big thing there, really. These other ones over here don't matter as much as morale. Morale's a real big decider here. So we'll go with that one then. 100. Oh, you reckon 100 there, Chrono? I shall bow to those who may be more aware. Oops. Maybe if I go like that. Challenging. Oh, okay, fair enough. I have to do it anyway. And this is it. I suppose we should have it better reflected. There have been a number of changes within the game. I do believe that artillery now is rather more impactful than it had been in the past. Let's make sure that's good. Yep, that looks good then. So 100, 110 then. We'll see how that goes then. If it doesn't work, then we can always rectify the situation. So indeed, we will go for the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign. Here we are. I do like this one. The only thing that I wrote down beforehand, and I am recording this by the way, so I will be uploading it to the YouTube afterwards. And then you guys can always catch it then if you don't catch it here on Twitch. So, the last German attempt to capture the domain of West Bank of the Volga and Stalingrad has failed. Meanwhile, on the flanks of the German Sixth Army, powerful forces under Generals Rakowski, I know I've done that one wrong, Adevanko, Valtutin, are poised to cut off the German Sixth Army. Can the Soviet army reverse the tide of Axis victories and ultimately drive to Berlin? Yeah, that's going to be tough. So as the Axis player, this is the one we'll be looking at. Withdraw before the Soviet juggernaut, consolidate your defences and hold on as long as possible. If you hold Germany in July 1945, you win. Powerful mechanized forces arrive in early 1943 that might allow you to make limited counteroffensives. It's not daft, it knows the state of the play here. The chance for a victory on the Eastern Front had already passed more or less at this point now. So, what should I name this? 1.02. Just so I know what version we started on there. Okay. Now, we do begin here with the Soviets attacking. Actually, no, we're in the air execution phase, aren't we, at the moment, so we'll see. I do believe that we do have the Soviets go ahead with their ground phase in just a moment. They should, without much in the way of trouble, cut off the Sixth Army at Stalingrad. Now I have my screen on night mode, so the snow actually looks more like sand. It's quite amusing. Okay, so we've seen a breakthrough around Veliki Luki there. I do believe that artillery has become more impactful as well, actually. which favours the Germans to begin with, but then it definitely favours the Soviets later. From what I understand of the changes. Yes. Right, so we do have those Romanian forces in the centre. They're going to be routed. Yeah, there we are. And it's a very nasty way to do it. Luckily, we managed to shoot down a number of bombers there, but it doesn't really much matter. It does help, though. We do see that they're good from airfields in this area here. Right, so we do see penetration here. And now they'll be coming across here. I mean, frankly, we only have the Romanians. One element of the division there routed. There's only the division here, blocking this from being cut off entirely. So it looks like they'll push through here. The rest of them... so they're going to rout those guys, aren't they? But the main thing here is that the rail has been cut. And this rail has been cut as well. If it was actually ever active. The Romanians that are the 18th routed side the actual perimeter of the 6th Army here. Now I wager they'll be cutting across, yes, and they do. And there we are. We're in a familiar situation where Stalingrad now contains the isolated 6th Army. We actually do see a penetration over here, and that's actually fairly dangerous. More so because if it had been able to reach 1 hex closer, it wouldn't have had to cut the rail line to actually really inhibit it. We see the lines cut over here, which is going to be a problem. It seems more like a vindictive response then. Or a vindictive action, I suppose you could say. Mostly aimed at probably inflicting casualties upon us. And it makes sense. At the end of the day, the Soviets do have the manpower, at least at this stage now, to be able to inflict more losses. I mean, that's their goal, really. Inflict more losses upon the Wehrmacht out here. Try and drive the enemy back. Now, depending on the weather, I was considering maybe, it depends really what the weather is now. Now, we are in 1942, heading into the winter there. So it's not as bad as the first winter. The first winter is a very interesting scenario, as we know. So I'm quite tempted to potentially have air forces remain on map, but I may have some sense of like the reserve really. Potentially they can upgrade at that point, so I was considering maybe keeping fighters on map, but it depends really. Okay. Let me go ahead and actually go, turn that off just so I can see things. Oh yeah, that makes a big difference there. I almost burned out my retinas. Okay. So of course we do have snow over here. So we have cold weather here. Snowfall. Next turn looks like we're just going to have snowfall, which makes sense. Now, we have, well, there's humid warm over here. I mean, humid where we are predominantly. It's only closer towards the Caucasus and really not even particularly there. A good part of that is still humid. But yes, you can see that we're in snowfall, and that's going to continue for quite some time yet. So I do wonder then, how useful is it to be able to keep the air power on map really? And let me go ahead and just move that out of the way temporarily. So yeah, the AI has done a pretty good job here. They do tend to go for a certain style of breakthrough, which is interesting. We have been fairly fortunate in the fact that these divisions over here, I can't recall, I think the last time we played, I think they had been potentially attacked as well. No, actually no, I don't think they were. No, they weren't. No, that's a good point. We do have more information here on the first turn, which is handy. Okay. We have a remaining cavalry division here. Take a look at the fortifications then, yes. Luckily we do have fortifications here. They're going to become quite important. I've learned a lesson that we need to hold Stalingrad. We've certainly learned that lesson, that we cannot lessen the defenses of Stalingrad, or it will come to bite us in the ass. It's over 100 now, but we need to make sure we maintain that. Which, now Stalingrad is interesting because we do have, well, we have supply there. Not as much as it had been previously, but I think that's because supply may move around in here. So let's take a look at the actual depots in here then. So it's about 2,000 there. 2,000. Another 2,000. 7,000 total then so far. So we have about 9,000. Around about 9,000 units. Oh, sorry, about 10,000 units there, give or take. It's probably a few more in the area. Right, so not a huge amount of time. Wow, okay. There's the... yes, that makes sense now. So this will need to transfer then to Stalingrad, really. And that's actually... wow. Imagine had they actually taken that. That says a lot. The issue is, though, we need to secure that. And yeah, that means that we're going to have to venture outside the actual fortified line over here, which is not exactly great. But I mean, this is, in terms of fortifications, it's like, yeah, we've got level 2 forts over here, but we're working with clear terrain. The snow does help, but yeah, it's still clear terrain. We'd really want heavy forests and things of that nature, really. That's why heavy urban is just so damn tough. Well, urban, I should say. Okay. So as of right now then, the weather is snowfall here. If I take a look, I can go over here actually. Where is it? There's one for the weather. Wherever is the weather? Oh, here we are. Yeah. Okay. So now this is just showing the conditions in the air. So you can see that we do have this snowfall there. Over here is not too bad then. Just cold over here in the north end. So we do have the ability... yes, cold over here then. Okay. So we have the ability to use air power in the north, but I think in the south we'll have soon. Yeah, no, I can imagine. They do have supply in there, which is good, so it is going to be something of a siege for them, which is handy. It means that they're not going to be immediately destroyed. So, the Soviet partisans are active, of course. Allied bombing has increased. Axis ground setback in North Africa. Axis setback in the Balkans and the Soviet partisans. We do have our situation report here, then. If you guys would like to read that, go ahead and do so now. Good, glad you read it. Yeah. At least we should be able to see more of the economy now. So we do have 4,000 oil there. We actually do have a rail yard active. Is it connected to the line? It is. That's good. Now it should have the AI perform well enough now. It should be good. I'm looking forward to that. That's the thing I think that kind of burnt me off the first time, was like the AI responding back from places it shouldn't have. So, how do you want to do this then? That's going to be the question. So within here then we have 23 remaining BF-109Es, okay. We have a couple of other Romanian aircraft there, the IAR-80B there, okay. We also do then have a number of Stukas in here, right. See, right now their mission's set to rest. So we have rest here for the Romanian Air Command South. The 4th League Corps here then. Mix of missions, mix of replacements. Yeah, so we've seen essentially rest in over here. Rest. Okay. I'm tempted to potentially have these forces withdrawn, perhaps. Though I can essentially leave them as they are. The issue is I do wonder to what use they're going to be. So if you take a look over here, then, I mean, it's a difficult one. So the date right now is November 26th. So the... now we're over here, then. Yeah, it's still not even good of a north. In the north, it will be snowfall next turn. So there's no snowfall right now, but there will be next turn. Yeah, we had rains over in Germany there. And we do have cold weather in Germany, which at least will firm up the ground there. So we still have our rain, but it will firm up shortly enough then. Sevastopol has fallen, which is good. That's handy. Now, we do tend to have this, like, review the situation to understand what's going on. There's part of me... I think what I'm essentially going to likely go ahead and do then is probably pull out bombers and things of that nature. The transportation groups are an interesting one, really, because we need to have the amount of freight built up in a certain area. I just don't know if we'll be able to take enough in there. Yeah, make peace, you fool. Indeed. Alright, so if I take a look over here. Yeah, there's quite a lot there, actually. How much freight is actually here then stored? So there's quite a lot of stored freight over there then. So this airbase over here being a level 3 airbase is actually really bloody important, man. That's actually a very important airbase. I don't know all the particular details of this campaign, actually. Or really many of the details at all, actually. But I'd wager that is probably one of the airfields where the main effort was made, perhaps. Yeah, quite a lot over here, too. So, these airfields are quite important, then. If I take a look here, then stored is 10,000 freight. Over here as well. Quite a large amount, then. Okay. Damn you, damn you, Simon. I blame the AI for that one. I didn't know that the air automatic control was on, so I kept fighting every bloody turn. I was like, why is it not working? Ah, because the auto thing is on. Oh, that was fun. Right then. So I think what I'll probably do then, I could maintain transportation aircraft over here then. That wouldn't be terribly bad. Especially as we do have the FBD over there. Now if I take a look then. So in terms of where supply is being drawn from, interestingly enough, they're drawn from quite some distance away there. Yeah, that was a fun time. That was a fun time. I should have really have just left it. It was when people mentioned it. Then I started to try and mess with it. I'm like, oh wait, no, nothing's going right. What's going on? Okay. These fortifications over here are very nice, but again, it comes down to the fact that this is just clear terrain. If we take a look at what we're seeing in the air events, we are seeing a number of guard divisions. We do see the armoured and mechanized out this way. The armoured are predominantly brigades, so we do see a cavalry corps over there. They're quite nasty. We do see some rifle corps as well, which is nasty too. Oh, God. It'll be a fun situation. So, I think I'll go for that then. I mean, I could potentially maintain... I don't know, it's an interesting one, really. I may maintain them in the theatre, but maybe have them move down to this area here, perhaps. I'm not too sure. I can always bring them back in as needed, in fairness. So maybe I do take them entirely out and then bring them back as we need them. I just don't want to have a situation where I have, as we have it here right now, like having to maintain depots. purely for aircraft, if that makes sense. I don't really... Even if it's like 250 freight, it still needs to be pushed towards the front. But it's a tough one, really, because we do need to have reconnaissance. We do need to have things of that nature. Now, I mean, this is snowfall right now. I don't think it's worth throwing them out there. Reconnaissance would be nice, but it's like, at what cost? I don't think it makes a dramatic difference. We'll have to rely upon pretty much the forces out here, then. So I think I will go for that. Hopefully it's not too bad. Is there a quicker way to do this? I wonder for a massive draw. I'll do it individually, just in case. Let's see. Yeah, they're set to rest right now. I mean, I could always shift them. Maybe I shift them first and foremost. So we have the Italian fighters over here, then. Okay. Yunker's over here, then. Fatigue's actually relatively good as well. So I believe they would have to be flown out for anything to be done there. Yes, so I can move them to reserve now. Can I get an idea how much they're consuming? I don't imagine it's a huge amount. I suppose I would be looking more so to the actual airfield itself then. Let me go ahead and just turn that off for a sec. Go to the airbase here. Right, supply need. Yeah, they don't consume all that much. Can I get an idea of what they will upgrade to? Because if I can actually have them drawn out to then upgrade, that might be worthwhile. Let me try and find a fighter group then. They're usually the XTRGs, is it? I always forget. Oh, JGs, that's it. Let's take a look over here then. So we have the Focke-Wulf 190A4 there. So 61 of them are pool. We have 105 of the BF-109 G2s there. 153 of the BF-109F4s. Okay, in air groups. I may want to draw them out so I can have them replaced with the Focke-Wulf there. Yeah, exactly, Shu. I mean, this is it. I'm not even really believing in that. I think really that we have to either break out of this somehow or Stalingrad is almost like a lost cause, really. We do have supply in there to make it potentially possible, but it's one of these cases of, well, you need to stop them from being able to establish their logistics out here too. I know I'm in an iron about the air power. I think I will have it brought back. Yeah. Oops. I think we'll bring it back on as we need it then. Oh, I love that. That's cool. I think I'll maintain some fighters in the area then, so they can actually respond to the enemy in case they're coming for a bombing run. But like the Heinkel 111s, it's like they're nice, and they can potentially carry freight, I do believe. But then it's like, they're just not very efficient at it. Right, BF-109s there. HS-129s. Take them out there. Yeah, we can see here too. And especially being this close to the front as well, that's not good. But I do need space on these airfields as well, for things that do matter. I mean, some of these could be potentially useful this turn, but then again, I really do want to try and maintain air power. We are going to see a pretty substantial Red Army. Sorry, Red Air Force. PVS, I believe it is. In the near future as well. I mean, what are we looking at now? But in the future, we will see increase in size. Yeah, so looking at 5,000 there, we only have a small amount. If I could try to maintain that a little longer, and especially when the weather improves, we might be able to use them to help. Well, yeah, really trying to help facilitate breakthrough. These transportation groups are interesting. I'm going to have them withdrawn and bring them back on manually. The reason being so I can actually bring them where I want them. So we have in here then HS12. So they can't be taken out. But this one can. These Stukas I'll have flown out. And again, I'm going to have these guys flown out as well. I just want to try and maintain them where I can. And at the end of the day, they will go in for upgrades, I do believe. So we have 87DR3 and 87BR. I believe this is a extended range one. But if I take a look at this guy here, then if I click that. This is BF-109 E7. So these are the fighter bomber variants, actually. Yeah. Now, actually, I'll tell you what, I wonder if there's a quicker way to do this. Planning. Of course, this could be the completely wrong move. Right, so we have them here. What I'm going to go ahead and do then is we have these here. Take out the fighters. Now. Right, ready, there we are. Yeah, so we have our transportation groups here. I'm going to bring them in when we want them. Yeah, there we go. Transfer air groups to reserve field. So there you go, on map. So we've got tactical bombers, level bombers, reconnaissance and transports. I think we'll do that then. So if I transfer selected air groups to reserve theatre box, there we are. Now I assume these are potentially ones that we can't get out. Oh my god, that's the cutest icon I've ever seen there. Right, so these are ones that are actually within here then. Okay, that makes sense. Now on map still we have fighters. That's good to see then. At least we know where we stand there. Yes, we have Hungarians, etc, etc. Right, that works out fair enough then. Probably shouldn't have ummed and ahed about that one, but it's like, it's nice to have them, but we need to have them where we can actually make use of them, I suppose you could say. Now in terms of production then, if I show active pools, production filter on. We're looking at the Fokker Wolf. Was it the 190G? No, it was the 190A4, wasn't it? Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's a nice aircraft. It's that armament as well that really makes it. Now, if I remember, we produce 31 Venom, I believe, per week. I guess we'll be able to see that. Hey, Donette, it's good to have you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so. Wolf 19G, BF. I'm looking for the 109. Types. There we are. Fighter bombers. So BF-109 G2, is that the one that we have predominating? 109 E7. G2s then. Let me go ahead and take a look here. So we have the E7s here. I may have the E7s retired then. So then they can go ahead and actually upgrade to the superior aircraft. Like, yeah, so we have 73 of them in total. How many? Oh, actually, no, I can see here. We have 61 Focke-Wulf 198 4s there. So it might be worthwhile to have the E7s retired, have them actually placed then into the Focke-Wulf 190As then, and then bring them back in the future. That's potentially not a bad idea. We can actually have them set in the theatre box then to training, I do believe. They're quite handy. Right, so I'm going to have them taken out of here then. So 20 mils there. Yes. Right, we'll have them set to the reserve there. E7s. Oh, those are Slovakians. They can go to reserve. So we've got the G2s here then. I think I'll keep the G2s on map for the time being. How you doing there, Accra? Good to have you, my friend. We've got the 110s over here then. So they're looking pretty good. There's the ME210A over there. Not many of them in the pool there. So we have 130. I believe these are the new aircraft right now. I think they're the latest model. So we do see 130 here. We've only got 8 there. So it takes some time to actually build them up. Hey, doing there, Racer. Good to have you, my friend. Now, 110s are actually quite interesting then. Their range then. So we have 162 range. They can be given range there up to 279, I do believe. 279. It looks like they had bombs on there, which is why it reduced their range there. Okay. I think so. Unless I'm looking at the wrong number. It's been a little while. Okay. So we have the group over there. Hungarians then. Yeah, okay. I'll put out the Hungarians. Now the beauty is at least that we can have them transfer to the west in all honesty. The groups that we just don't need here. Like the E7s would actually do quite well there. How you doing there, Jack? Well, I say well, but they would do better out there where the weather's supposedly better. So we've got F4s over here and G2s. I suppose, yeah, we only have a 120mm over here. On this front, it's, right, so we see them over here at Smolensk. We actually do see some over here as well. Okay. Really, we want to have them concerned with defending key centers and of logistics. So, I mean, we have Smolensk over here, then. Yeah, so we have Smolensk, we have Vyazma, however you pronounce that. There's Budapest over here as well, where we have this dual rail. I could potentially keep them out there, but the thing is with those guys, my gosh, they don't really have much in the way of armament compared to what we're facing. I mean, what are we facing at this moment in time? Right, luckily this actually gives us an idea then. So we can see Yak 7s, LA5s, SU2, IL2s, these are nasty, Ps. So Yak 7s is what we seem to be going up against. Now if I go over here then, and take a look at the actual commander's report. This is what I'm looking at right now. If I go to equipment, turn off that, I'd like to go ahead and, not that, yeah, there we go, aircraft. Right, fighter. Is it a fighter bomber? It was the Yak 7B, wasn't it? Right, so Yak 7B. Reliability there. Is it just armed with a single 20 mil there? I feel like I'm not seeing the complete picture here for some reason. And I expected it to be facing down there. Let's take a look then. Let's take a look at the E7. That side doesn't seem to be displaying down there. Maybe something's changed and I'm just not looking in the right position. But either way, yeah, we'll take that into consideration. So let's take a look then. So this is what we have on map. Let's take a look. So I'm going to take out these fellows over here then. Take a look at fighters. Now we do have IARs. Yes. I think I'll have them transferred to reserve. These ones will obviously be around the 6 armor then. Now, fighter bombers. I mean, they're in fairly good numbers, but I mean, this is it. It's a nice thing, but I think we need to take a look at the actual types there. So, note then, we don't... Well, I mean, this is it. Look at this. So, if you take a look over here then, do you have a okay... Well, yeah, what's that, like... 80... About 80 or so Fokker Wolves there. We've got the F4s here. E7s. They, maybe, in fact... Yeah, so I can move them out. That's good. F4s here. Yeah. So I think I'll maintain... Yeah, so we have Fokker Wolves over here then. That's quite nice. F4. Let's compare the actual... actually, no, I might be able to do that. If I go over here into the info screen, and if I go over here to Commander's Report, come off of this, and just go into Equipment, Aircraft, Start dates. I wish I could have like nationality here as well. But let me go ahead and take the Fokker Wolf A4. We have the 7 here. The G2, I believe. Was the G2 or the other one? I think it was the G2. If I take the F4... Oh, there we go. We have to compare them. Yeah. It's a pretty... It's a pretty wild situation here. I do like you can actually click on the weapons here, that's quite nice. So we have the same cannon. This one's a little bit more accurate. This one might be wing mounted perhaps. Oh, forward facing of course. 7.7s, yeah. Now in terms of speed, 410, 404, 246, 253. So slightly higher top speed, but higher cruise speed. Climb, 28. Better climb here. Better altitude. But it just comes down to the fact of, well, we have more range here on the Fokker Wolf. The big thing is it comes down to just... just look at that firepower. We've got the one 20mm there, we've got another 3 20mm over here. That's pretty impressive. We can actually place, yeah, and also the drop tank there. Can even carry 500 kilogram bomb there. So I think I will retire out the F4 from the front too. So I've got a F4. I was looking at the F2. Let me go ahead and take a look at that again then. A4. F4. Yeah, so still suffering from the armament there. If I compare that to the G then, I'm going to take it as being the G2. G2 here. And with the A4. Oh, it seems like we can actually have additional cannons aboard there. That's interesting. I'll have to take a look at that. Because that would actually be quite attractive if we did that. So we can have 220s, and I believe then the 220s in a drop tank there. Okay. Yeah, with that sort of armament, I can actually maintain that in the field a little longer then. Yeah, so G2s. So I think the F4s then we'll have taken out where we can anyway. So these ones are the ones that can't be. G2s. Then we've got the F2s over here. It's not like we have many of the F2. Yeah, I've got BF-110, E2, then the F2s. How do they compare? I hope you guys don't mind. I like to get into the details every now and then. Just to refamiliarize myself in a way. So we've got the E2 over here then, and then we had the F2, I do believe. Okay. So that's the older model there then. So the E2 is the older version. Yes, this one's faster. Range slightly better here, but this one's faster. And just a little bit more maneuverable. It seems like it's just slight, yeah, essentially an improvement anyway. That makes sense then. Okay. I believe I could probably... And to be honest, I could probably do with having the heavy bombers, heavy fighters I should say, actually taken out. They can certainly be moved out to other theatres. So we'll have them moved out to the reserve. And the E2 there moved to reserve. They can actually go to Western Europe quite nicely there. That'd be quite good then. Right, so that leaves us then with the A4 and then the BF-109G2. And I do have the F4s over here, which are in around Stalingrad then. Okay. Right, then. That's good to see, then. I do wish we had more time. We do have more time, of course. We have until 9:30. But I do wish we had longer. Yeah. Okay. So we have BF-109G2s there. We've got quite a large amount over here, then. How do we want to go ahead and take these guys? If I go ahead and take a look over here, then. So we have 634 aircraft in total now on the front. Of course, and 50 Axis there. Of course, obviously, a number around here. Right. So I've got some Fokker Wolves over there. I'll have a group moved out to... Well, I do have a group nearby here, so I have JG-51 that can move there. But I think I'm going to take the group out down this way. I've got the patrol aircraft as well, actually. As for how much use they're going to be, I'm not too sure. But I'm going to take these guys over here down at the airfield. I need to go ahead and double check where we're actually seeing attacks. Have we seen actual air attacks out this way? I don't think we had air attacks per se, we had the ground attack. As you can see there. Of course there was air power involved, but we didn't have any of our own air power fly here anyway. Okay. So in terms then, let's take a look at what we do have on the map then. Take the fighters off there for the time being. We've got these guys obviously there on the map still. They're around Stalingrad, of course. We have a knight? No, I'm not seeing any night fighters. Though it does list them, but I believe that they're not on map. Bombers not. Reconnaissance then, I believe they're probably around Stalingrad. Transport off map. Patrols then, we do have them over here then. Again, these guys could actually be really quite handy than elsewhere. Yeah. We'll have them move to reserve then. They can, of course, go to another front. where they can do more work, I would hope. So that's patrols there. Torpedo bombers then. Okay. So what we have then left in all honesty then is just what we have around Stalingrad. I have a couple of Romanian fighters there. A couple of reconnaissance. Yeah, essentially everything on the map is here now. Okay. So, right, okay. If I take a look at that, maximum amount of aircraft. If I take a look at the ready mount, I do like these here. 40 is quite nice. We have a good number of those to work with. These are smaller groups over here. So we've got a Spanish group, we've got a Croatian group over here. Let's go see. Right. Now, I apologize for that taking a little while, but I feel like it was worthwhile doing. So I've got a group over here of Asma. I would like to have a group over here at Smolensk. Oops. So I'm going to go ahead and take this group and move them out this way. Now, how's the group looking right now? So some fatigue there. The aircraft are okay. I'm going to have them immediately transferred then. Right, so we have that group now at Smolensk. Looks like we had... Did we have 39 to start with, or did we have 37? I've already... I should have taken a note there. Right then, so we have our group over here at Smolensk. Let's take a look at the aircraft. Wounded there. Okay. Right, so we don't have that available as of yet then. That's okay. So they're currently set to rest. And we have a group over here at Orel then. And that's just 12 BF-109 over here. What I may go ahead and do then, so if I take a look at the group over here under Luftflotte 1, I mean, we've got Luftflotte 1, we've got Luftflotte 6, we've got Luftflotte 4 down here. And in fairness, that's... I don't think it really makes a difference, might as well keep them on map anyway. But if I take a look over here then, so we have 39 there, we've got 40 there, 40 I should say, and we've got a number, well, we've got only 4 there. I'm going to have them taken out. 4's too small. So 40, 40. What I think I'm going to go ahead and do then is if I shift... Right, we've got 3 full groups in there. That's 2 full groups and a smaller group. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then is I'm going to take this group over here then. So 3rd JG54. And I believe I may have them shifted down to this position here. I do actually have 2 air bases up here, which might be worthwhile. But it might be better to stick on the one airfield. It does depend. The size 2 airfields on the rail. They're both on the rail in fairness. I think I'm going to go ahead and just have them placed here on the single rail there. Single base, I should say. I'm going to go with that immediate transfer. Now, in terms of where our logistics are, that group... There's a lot of ground to cover. Maybe the smaller group might have been handy there, but that's okay. I could maybe have this group moved here. I guess that's okay. I'm going to leave them as they are then. And then we've got this group over here then. Okay. So they're set to rest. I could have them set to day only. And just essentially have... right, just hold. I don't want them to be moved elsewhere. Yeah, just have them set there to hold, but operate in the day. But I don't want to have them actually given a mission per se. I want them to just intercept something if they can, if that makes sense. Okay, moving on to this group here then. So we have a group over here of Asma, we have a group over here of Smolensk, and these are good killers. These are good killers. These guys, they can't have access to the actual drop tanks yet. So I've got a group over here then. Okay. That's alright, that can remain. Moving down the line then. So I have a group over here about 40. We've got these guys over here about 35, 35, so that's 70, about 73 in there then. My god. Where are the oil centers again? I'm not seeing my copy here for some reason. Maybe some are captured, occupied. Yeah, there we are. Right, so my cop. That's in the rear, okay. I wish I could tell you back to the screen you were looking at beforehand, that'd be nice. So it's really my cop. Mosdorf. Yeah, which is right on the front there. 1,000 units of oil. What I can go ahead and do then is we'll show industry. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and clear this off here. Clear that too. So we have some oil production out there. Not a lot. Not a lot by far. Greatest amount being over here at Mycop, which is not exactly amazing right now. God damn. And God, it does make it attractive to try to grasp this area, but it's going to be a difficult one. 14 oil production there. And if I take a look, yeah, the Grozny event obviously saw that. Oil production 14. Oil production is the one that matters. Oil production 10 now. There's not a lot of oil production that we can actually capture easily. And the oil production really is concentrated down here. I mean, we've got 20 there. We've got another 20 there. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. So we're looking at 100-ish odd oil production there. How are our stockpiles looking? That's going to be a big deciding factor. So if I take a look at Germany, if I take a look at the actual production charts, I'm just going to have a drink of coffee, by the way. Hope you guys don't mind. And I've got 150k. In terms of fuel, 564. I think that's actually better than what I had in my grand campaign that was a victory. But I think that was due to the fact that we just carried on driving. I think so anyway. For the most part, that is. I do have a pretty strong reason then to actually try to hold on to that oil. God damn it, it's damage due. Ah, there's so little that comes out of that. And I have to look at how much does come out, how much each unit represents. But yeah, my cop really is the place. I really do need to try and get priority to repair that, because if I can draw out any oil, that's going to be worthwhile. God damn. Okay, so we can understand where priorities are then. In terms of this over here, then we have the Arab Special Purpose Unit over here then to the north, okay. Right, so we have a good feel for how things are going to go now. So, really, This is... I think we'll do this one probably towards the end. Though more than likely this will be a future set of streams. But I hope you guys don't mind this. I think, should it run appropriately well with the AI, it should work well as like a long-form series. The Typhoon series was quite good, actually. At least I enjoyed that. We didn't win, but that was fun. So if we take a look out this way then, I mean, currently we're in the air planning phase, so I think what we'll do then is we'll finish off our air planning and just, yeah, call it there. Well, for air power planners. If I take a look at over here, at around, we'll have to take a look at these depots and really figure out where we want this to travel. Priority needs to go to the actual depots that have the capacity. Now, luckily, we are really quite fortunate in the fact that we do have all of this rail actually active out here. Like, I don't think I had anywhere near this much rail actually worked upon, so this is actually pretty good. It does make things a lot easier. But what I'm going to go ahead and address then, I think, first and foremost, is I think the issue of garrisons, perhaps. But no, we'll do the air power, and then we'll get onto that. Psych. Right, so I have then 12 over here. I could go ahead and shift a few extra. It doesn't make a grand difference, but at least it's something. I'd like to move it, please. There we are. So I do have an extra group over here at Smolensk. Okay. Right. I'd like to have that group then moved over here to Kursk. Now, Kursk is really quite nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the industry again. Yeah, so I've got... no, I'm thinking of Kharkov then. Yes, I'm thinking of Kharkov. So we have Rail Yard 3 over here then. Kharkov is down here then. Yeah, okay. Rail Yard 9. Very important. I'd really like to have that protected if I could. What I think I might go ahead and do then is maybe try and draw out these Romanians and have them potentially moved over here to Kharkov. At least the actual air power, perhaps. Now, a rail has that size 3 rail yard. I probably do want to go ahead and actually... I think what I'm going to go ahead and do then... So I've got that group over there. I've got these guys here. Okay. What I think I'm going to go ahead and do then is I'm going to move V12 over this way. Shit. I didn't mean to do that. Damn it. I didn't mean to do that. Well, anyway. They can go there then. God damn it. They go there then. This one over here, I'd love to, but I need to cover these areas. Yeah, you can see the actual capacity over here is pretty large. So I'm going to have that group moved out that way, I reckon. Though in fairness, it's tempted to have them here, because I need to... Do I have any idea where the enemy's air strength is? Number there. Obviously, we know there's numbers out this way. What am I looking at in terms of enemy airfields then? So we have airfield out here. Where are the next airfields? Of course they can build the airfields, but the next airfield's here. So that's some distance on it. So these guys aren't as dangerous. What do I have here then? Rail Yard 1. Rail Yard 1. Damaging number of these rail yards too, which is not exactly great. Now, thankfully, I do have a dual line, but I need to have something done about the state of that line. See, the thing is as well, I'm in the winter, and I really do not want to have the Panthers out here in the winter. There's only so much we can do about that. Do we have any manufacturing over here? I actually do have some armaments production there, not a lot. I would have... That'd be really interesting to find out what sort of armaments production could be made there. Gosh. I really don't know who would be working on those. I suppose it's capacity? But I can't imagine it's producing right now. I think this is the one that we need to look towards, and I would say, perhaps. And this is where the main thrust is coming anyway, not particularly down here as such. I do want to keep a group out at my corner. Alright, let me take a look. I've got a group over here then. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do then is... I want that on, actually. So I've got my cop, yeah. So we have a couple here. I could leave a 12 over here then, the creation group. Well, I could actually make that about 16 then. Yeah. I'll leave the 38 down in my cop. I'm going to take this group over here. So I'll take the 12 Croats. Can move them there, but I want them closer to this point here. But then the question comes down to how long I can maintain this, but we'll see. So move that 12 there. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this group of 30. Now this is the one that's... I do have 6 Panzer there, but it's... I don't know. There's a lot of enemy forces over here. This one's probably easier to hold, because at least I do have forces here on the flank, but yeah, this is one that's dangerous. So I think I'll have this group moved out here then. Immediately transfer. Sorry, not planned transfer. Immediate transfer. Like so. This group then. It'd be nice if I could break them up, in fairness. But I may leave it like that, because we do actually cover a decent chunk of the front there. So I think I'll go with that then. What I'm going to go ahead and do then, can I do it? Well, that'd be doctrine, but what I'm going to go ahead and do then is from here then. So they're set to rest. I'm going to have them day only. They shouldn't be out there unless there's something actually going on in fairness. Well, what I mean is like intercept. I could have actually just done it over there. Yeah, these are interesting ones. I may maintain them in here to actually help out. I do have some reconnaissance. I guess I can get away with doing that then. I'll go ahead and double check the other groups. Okay, that should put everybody to day only. And it has, that's good. Okay. And over here then, have day only. And there we are. Let me go ahead and check out these guys, because I think I could have actually given them more cannon, apparently. Ah, they're not yet available. Ah, damn it. Fair enough. But at least in the future we can do that. Love that heart. Okay. I think what we might go for then is a number of different things before we do begin the game proper. I think I might go ahead and take a look at leaders. We begin the game with 53 administrative points, so I might use them to change our leaders perhaps, and then really try to do as much as we can on the back end before the onslaught begins, as you could say. Which is already begun, but you know what I mean. So in terms of what I have out this way, reconnaissance really must come from this area then. So it'd be Luft Lot 4. Yeah. So we have here then a couple of HS-126. Whereabouts are you based? You're over here as well. And of course I have 2. Okay. So that gives us about 19 there to work with. Fortifications have been an interesting one, really. We'll have to see what we can do regarding that one, but it'll take time. We need to sort of like stem the bleeding, if that makes sense. Now, that altitude there's 26k. They carry a low-level camera, which is, I think it was 16k altitude. But it was maybe 15k. I think 15k. Yeah, so they just need to fly. I suppose I do need to, just in case there's units we do not know of. I wish there's like a 1.5, that'd be great. But we'll go for that then. So I've got ground support missions here. Not that there's anybody there anyway. Fighters here. Okay. So we've got that there. Okay. Ah, there we are. Yeah, there we are. Okay, that's good. So I do see a number in there, then. Okay. What I'm going to go ahead and do, then, is I'm going to set a reconnaissance mission there. And... there we are. I'm going to give them the escort of the Romanians. The reason being, I know it seems like... well, actually, let's see here. Maybe the IARs, then. Yeah, I guess so. 140 there. What am I looking at for the HS12 176. Okay. So not a lot anyway. So I'll give them the escort in IARs and ATB there. At least that gives them an actual escort. Okay. So got ground support there, ground attack. Ground support then would have to go to the 6th Army. Okay. Who would I want to give it to? I could specify it to a certain corps. That'd be ideal. Now, I don't believe that they're actually set to assault armies right now. If I go over here. I should have assault armies listed up there. I might not actually have this one armored. I don't think I have it in assault armies right now. Yeah, 27. Let me go ahead and double check. I think that's one of the things I will probably look towards spending 80 on. Yeah, if I go over here then. If I go ahead and select just army. Command. Let's see. Map would be good. Yeah. Assault HQ. Yeah, so we don't actually have an assault headquarters right now then. Okay, so 6th Army is really quite large too. It really is quite large. I think with 6th Army we have to essentially give it the assault army status there essentially. And the reason being it because we have 38 out of 27, so obviously we'd have the command penalties. I think what we'll do then is obviously set that to assault. It's only 10, so it's relatively cheap for what it is. It almost fixes the problem entirely, to be honest. It means that they won't dig in as much, and maybe that's the problem. But then in fairness, it's a difficult one, really. I can't change the army command of forces inside a pocket either. That's the problem. I can only essentially work with what we've got in here. So, yeah. Yes, you used to have more headquarters. They've reduced them now, I believe. I mean, that's the interesting thing is, like, we are working with a living game. Okay, so that's 10 there. It would be ideal if I could try and balance these headquarters out without having to spend more AP. But I think we have that then, essentially. I think now at this point, we'll finish up the air phase and then we could move forward then. So I'm going to take this over here then. So we've got ground support. I could give it to the 6th Army in total. But I think in reality, I've got the Panzer Corps here. I think I'd rather give it to the Panzer Corps. G2's there. I mean, after this turn, I'm going to have them moved out of here, really. Yeah, I mean, these guys should fly interception missions anyway. Okay. No, maybe I do give... I think I will give it to the 6th Army in general. I can choose when to actually employ, I should say. Alright. God damn, look at all those MGs. That's awesome. That's so cool. What are we carrying right now? We're carrying, yeah, about 1,000 kilogram of bomber. Could have 1,400. The issue is, it's like, it's nice and all to actually have endurance. 1,400 kilograms there takes me down. I think I will go for the 1,400. They still have relatively okay range. So I was going to Luftwaffe 4. Yeah, I think essentially if I have them, I need to make sure that when they, if they do make it there, range isn't exactly the biggest consideration here. It's more so, well, if they do make it, I need to make sure they can actually drop enough bombs to make it worthwhile. So I'm going to go ahead and fly the air directive here. So this is operational losses then, which is not a shock at all. Okay. So the losses there came from reconnaissance, which is not a shock, considering that's where we were flying. Okay. Other directions I have to cancel, like, but it gives us information there to work with. As for how much, yeah, at least some reconnaissance anyway. Even over there, it's very light reconnaissance. I mean, here at 8 is pretty decent. So, we took operational losses, so we didn't take air-to-air losses then, so that's good. Maybe they're not even flying themselves, actually. Okay. So now I think what we're going to go ahead and do at this point, then. Oops. I just thought for a second I had it turned off because I'm like, oh, where's every unit? But yeah, that's the reality, is that they're all there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the reserve. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at the garrisons first. Yeah, so I've got the first SFSS... sorry, RSS. But no, it's actually the first SS motorized brigade there. I'd like to think this one could still actually be formed into a support unit, because that's hella good. Yeah, I've got a number of units in there. Okay. Africa, obviously not exactly ideal. Italy, it's going to become a problem. Western Europe, I mean, this is the thing, like, we have the air groups over here now. Obviously, the rest will arrive here shortly. Are these the ones here now? No, because we had obviously all the transports, didn't we? If I take a look over here, then. How's it winning more? There we are. Supply German forces from Soviet Union gas forces. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking towards doing. Now I have these fellows here. I'm going to have a number of the fighter bombs transferred to Western Europe. Oh, I've got Focke-Wulf 190 A5s here, that's quite nice. So this could be a maximum of 40 then, so I'm going to wait for them to actually be ready. Oh. Hang on a sec. Oh, I've already got a 4 there. Yeah, that's a 32 group. How do they compare then? A4, A5. I've got to wager that the A5 is superior. Right, so we have that there. Take the A4, take the A5. Oh, okay. Oh, see you later, Chrono. Have a good one, my man. It's been, I suppose, relatively boring, but then again, it's one of these things of like, I can't rush. It's an hour and a half. There's only so much I can really get done, and I don't want to rush things too much. At least in this way, we get to make some informed choices. And obviously, combat really isn't going to begin until the next stream, so at least people do have their chance to say what they think now, so that's not too bad. And at least then we've taken a good look at the air situation. We'll take a look at the theatre situation, sort the theatres out, I get that thing there. Ah, best one that I used to play. Yeah, sure. Something like that. I found that interesting though. Unless reliability, we want to have lower numbers? I can't recall. Maybe it's... I forget which way round it goes. Maybe lower reliability is better, but that doesn't sound right. I don't know. Yeah, spreadsheets for grogs, indeed. I've still got TSWW Barbarossa to learn. I've been working through that slowly but surely. But I've been writing an essay at the moment, so I haven't had the chance to really go through that. Well, I've got to assume that this is the superior model? Maybe? I'm not too sure. I guess it is a superior model. Does anybody know anything about the A5 then? I have a book actually about German aircraft. I'll actually take a look at that after the stream. So they're quite interesting. You can see upgrades there. I suppose that ultimately this will be phased out. I mean, it begins here midway through the year, then it's phased out by essentially the end of the year. So this is essentially the one we'll be moving towards anyway. Yeah, so these are the upgrades essentially then. Okay. What do I have in terms of A5s then? Let's see. Active pool, transit pool, all pool. So I'm not actually producing the A5 right now, it seems. So I wonder if they're early arrivals then, before mass production really begins. I do wonder about that. Or maybe mass production is due to begin. I've had to take a look at the egg rooms. Right, okay. So obviously these are the air groups that were moving to the reserves there. Those are the ones that were moving to Western Europe BF-110s. What I want to go ahead and do then is take a look at reinforcement perhaps. Right. Damn. So turn 20, we get some Focke-Wulf 198.5s there in Western Europe, but that's some time away. Holy moly. Yeah, A4s there, ME410As. Okay, so I feel fairly vindicated then. It feels like we very much have to take care of our guys. We really have to take care of them. So I think it's worthwhile then. So we have a Focke-Wulf 198.5s there then. But we'll have units transferred to the Focke-Wulf 190 A4. I could even potentially have that done by these fellas right now, in fact. I love that. I love that. That's an interesting one. Yeah. That's definitely Africa. I can imagine the developers weren't too particularly happy about doing that one. Oh dear. Yeah, so if I take a look over here, then we have 366 max speed. Yeah, I suppose that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Like the BF-109 G2 has that top speed there, 407. 253 cruise. Top speed there for the A5s, actually. I think quite a bit. No, actually, no. Yeah, I think that's about. It's quite a bit lower than the A4, then, isn't it? There must be a reason as to why. Must be a reason. Maybe it's because this one has the bombs on. Yeah, there we are. That's why. I was thinking there's got to be a reason for that. Yeah, that bomb makes a big difference there. So we do have 407. That does make me feel better then. So I could have them manually upgrade when it's the A4 there. We have 61. I think that might be the way we go about things then. If I set them to do that, and then have them upgrade. The good thing is then, it's like if we have anybody in... Because we've got 73 E7s out there. What I could then do is maybe have them shifted up into the G2s. Which will have a couple more G2s actually available. That'd be quite nice. I do wonder if it'd be worthwhile trying to shift the Focke-Wulfs into the Soviet theater. But again, I'm going to have to take a look at reliability of aircraft, really. I have to take a look at that in the manual. Because I guess at that point, I suppose I'm going to want a number of different things. I'm going to want reliability. Reliability isn't going to be as much of a problem in Western Europe due to the fact that, well, weather tends to be better. We tend to have an infrastructure there to work with, and, well, we don't have a horde of angry Soviets, but then we are going up against vastly larger numbers of aircraft, in a sense. Armoured aircraft too? So I don't know. So maybe in that sense, maybe the G2s are better off in the Eastern Theatre, where... it depends really. There's a hell of a difference in terms of firepower. Really a hell of a difference. I do really want to have more of the Focke-Wulfs in general. But we'd have to take a look. The G2s will have access to additional cannons later on, which is relatively attractive because it's at least a little bit more helpful. But then it's still a difference of like 2 versus 4 cannon, isn't it? But I mean, like, right now it's it's a difference of 3 cannon. That's a lot of cannon. But I'm going to go ahead and have these guys transferred into the A4s then. Oh, you can compare them here. That's quite nice. Yeah, there we are. So they're now in the A4. 20 of them there, yeah. 14 are damaged right now, so will have to be worked on. Yeah. Yeah, so we have a fair amount of damage there. But that should be fine. There's no great rush to bring them out anyway. Okay. Trained as bomber. Withdraw group retraining. I think so. I should really just place them in another aircraft. Yeah. Well, 8 turns will fly by. Now we have the IARs. What will they actually upgrade to? I've got the B. Oh my god. Yeah, there's not a huge amount of choice there, is there? Okay. Reconnaissance over here, then. Right. Sturm Brigades. These guys are really actually quite cool. What's their max TOE? Yeah, 2,000 men. Pretty nice, actually. I believe you can actually have them as support units. So quite attractive. Yeah, these Sturm Brigade's quite nice. There's quite a difference there in TOE. I wonder what that big difference is. Mortars, perhaps? Yeah, oh, it seems like the mortars and the heavy AT. These 88mm guns are going to be really a big thing that we need. Yeah. The Stuttgart Fates there. These guys are quite nice. They do have a longer gun now. Very good. But alas, our time has run out. Yeah, I do. I guess I'll say sorry, but there's not been really much in the way of action in this opening episode. But I do feel it's actually quite important stuff here. Oh, I've seen something mentioned about that on Facebook actually. You seen the news about the WDS by GATS catalog? Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. I just hope that they make the games look better. I like the view zoomed out, but the view zoomed in is kind of like ass. I don't know. Maybe I'd like to see it a little bit better, or maybe even more mods that can change that. But indeed, thank you for watching there, ladies and gents. Thank you very much, Pixel, for catching me off guard there. Looking mighty attractive, I must say. So yes, it's been a great one. Thank you for having me once again. If you like my content, you can find me on YouTube at XTRG. I will be uploading this video here then. And there you go. You'll be able to follow this series as it develops. And appreciate all comments and advice. Until next time, I was Minasai. Ja, Mataraishi. And Mata Kinyobi, I think. I think that's probably when I'll be back. So yeah, see you next Friday or something like that. Goodbye for now. Keep it sexy.